for the site.
Oh, this
They've
is
been
Tony
around.
G's site.
Yeah, and not his
Ah,
site. He's an ambassador. It's
okay.
like been around for 5 years, I think. Around, yeah, I think like on a Sunday, maybe 1,000 people are online.
What on earth is
Yeah,
this currency? Or
there's just Tether like USDT, like
ah,
um, you can only basically you can only deposit with Tether or um, Bitcoin or Ethereum,
Are you a crypto
and
noob like me, Tom? Is that
I
what's
am.
going on here? All right.
I own crypto. I don't know much about blockchain, but
yeah, me too. Or
I
you
own
I
can
it.
see.
like they recently added like Polygon or something that you can also deposit with.
It's all made up.
Never knew
Yeah.
Polygon was anything other than a shape, but okay.
But yeah, basically you have to deposit with like a stable coin, so or Bitcoin or Ethereum, and then they convert it into like Tether for you.
Okay, so
So
we're
it's
playing
basically yeah you're basically playing with a stable coin.
so we're playing 50 cent a dollar USDT.
Yeah.
So this is like
Yes.
50 a dollar blinds. Okay, so it's straight up good.
Yeah, and every cash game table is with an ante. So all their tables are
Oh, we're playing
with an
anti-cash.
ante.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
All right, I
Oh,
like it. We're gonna get some action, some wide action. I love it.
Yeah, so they don't have any zoom because there's like not enough volume. So these are rack tables, and
Okay.
we will see some quite interesting hands here.
Sounds
This
like
is like
fun.
poker, yeah, from 2007. So yeah, yeah, I didn't record the beginning of my session, kind of forgot. So on the bottom left table, I have like 2x starting, and then on the top right also almost 2x starting.
Okay.
So we're quite deep on some tables.
It's gonna be fun. I know nothing about
Yeah.
deep play.
deep stack anti-play for the win.
Oh yeah, that is everything I've never studied combined into one.
Yeah, and like this guy like Skolm 13x is like a rack, and then for the rest there aren't too many racks, I would say. Like Win-Win Million is kinda rack, but he's kinda garbage.
Okay.
So I guess let's skip to the first hand. Yeah, on the right I have like a random number generator from Google. Uh, Here Ace King. Yeah,
Okay.
so
We three bet ace king. Sounds good.
yeah. Here we have aces, always interesting.
Oh yes.
So yeah, I open 2x from every position and 3x from the small blind.
Okay.
Fine, I think. And maybe you can go a little bit bigger with the ante, but I think it's fine. Yeah.
Oh, so we face a.
And
Is that a 3x open? Is this squeeze a
yeah, and
little bit big?
there's a 3x open and a flat, so maybe I think this is like an okay sizing.
Probably fine. I might go
Probably,
something like
uh,
15, 14. Probably 15, then
mm,
18, but yeah. It's just a little bit awkward because when we have ace king specifically, it makes more sense. But if we have something that's going to be like squeeze folding, say something like jack 10 suited, we don't want to go
yeah,
too gigantic with the short stack behind, right? Like normally the short stack who cold called shouldn't have a call jam range here, like he shouldn't have a back jamming range. But if he's a fish, he
yeah,
might, right?
yeah. He definitely shouldn't, but
He
who
might because
knows,
he's a
right?
fish,
Yeah,
right? That's
he
the
might.
issue.
Yeah,
So if he does, it kind of
yeah.
puts us into a tougher spot with some of our range.
Matt, you've got a value hand. There's fish that are going to call too
Yeah,
wide.
with ace king, it does make a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like if this was like on stars or something with no ante, I would go 15 here. Like 4x the
Yeah.
sizing plus 1x for every cold color. Oh,
Sure.
that's what I normally do. Like 4x the out of position, 4x the raise, and then 1x more for every color there is.
Yeah, I know that
And that's
wizard,
yeah,
when faced with 2.5x, usually likes going 14 a lot in these squeeze spots out of position.
that's interesting. Only 14, like.
Yeah,
I
two
would
and a half
expect.
x, and then call it usually goes to around 14. So versus a 3x,
Oh yeah,
probably a bit
versus
bigger.
2.5. Yeah, versus two
Yeah,
versus 2.5. Yeah.
so you know.
Yeah, so around 5x. Yeah, so I actually that's done on the low side, I guess 18. So GTO Wizard goes a little bit bigger than 5x. They go 5.5, I guess, something like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
probably isn't too big of a difference. Like
No, I don't think so.
pre-flop sizings, yeah, that's
Yeah.
not very wretched, I guess.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
So
So we
like
get
and
three callers
yeah,
with aces. That's the dream.
yeah.
This is why you should just size to like 25 big blinds with this stuff.
Yeah, I like it.
Forget the
Yeah.
theory.
Yeah,
You
you
get
know
three
all of
callers.
that Zenith multiple open sizing stuff. Just simplify and just go big when you have aces.
Yeah, here two interesting spots. Like
Yeah.
maybe first the ace king. This yeah, how big would you go here? Like we hit the ace. There's like a fun player behind.
Fun player behind, he's short. We don't need to go that
Mm,
big to get stacks in comfortably.
mm.
Maybe a quarter? 30%? A third?
Yeah, I think I go like around the third here, if I if I would guess. Um, yeah, basically you can basically jam almost any turn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's such
just
a
like
low
yeah,
SPR, there's no sense in going
yeah,
big here. So,
mm.
He's gonna call any ace, like literally ace two off.
if
He's
he
going
has
to
a
stack
pair,
off.
he's stacking off.
So just get some value
Yeah.
before the third heart comes in and he gets scared. Just
He's
exploit the whales,
still stacking off any pair if a heart comes off. You think he's not stacking off his 3-4 suited when the heart comes off on the turn? He totally is.
man.
Yeah. He, I mean, also we're also not folding, right? So there's, I mean, yeah, I think like you can't go wrong here with any sizings, I guess.
Yeah.
Like around quarter to even half pot.
I think versus
Yeah.
a rec here, I'd just go with third with range, honestly, or like 30% with range. Because I'd expect him to have a ton of like, fours, fives, sixes, a lot of that type of stuff.
Yeah,
And
you kind of want, yeah, you
yeah.
kind of want like him to reel him in, right? To like,
Well, with our value, yeah, and we have tons of hands that can benefit
yeah,
from folding out fours, fives, sixes, that whole range. So
yeah, this is probably like a high frequency bet with range.
I think I just range
If
bet it, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Also, I roll low, but doesn't really matter in this spot here, I guess.
Yeah.
Like the low rolls are like the most aggressive
Oh, okay.
options.
So you're a psycho like that, got it. Okay.
Mm.
High
Four
rolls should
sixes
always be
and a half.
aggression. Okay.
Yeah,
So that's like 40%,
yeah,
something like that-ish. Sure.
yeah. I guess he folds here, yeah. And on the left, I bet 65% into three people.
Into
This is like
three people. Yeah.
this is like a spot with aces. You're kind of scared, right? From no, no, three people behind. I gotta protect my aces.
Yeah, you're out of position to one
Mm.
player. I could get behind a check. I could get behind half pot or something in that realm. I'd probably mix check and half pot.
Mm. I don't know
60%,
about your
same
check. A
size.
check kind of feels dirty here.
Yeah.
Like giving a free card to three players on a kind of drawish board. I mean, that just feels wrong. But
Yeah. I definitely
yeah,
would prefer to check if I had a club,
mm,
I think. Yeah. Maybe not?
But there's three players that can potentially bet and reopen the action, allowing you to check raise.
Well, there's only one player, right? Two
there's only one
blinds.
player
Oh,
behind.
So,
sorry.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, I thought you had three callers. Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
I missed
button
this one.
and
yeah,
two blinds call.
yeah. The button and the blinds called. So
Yeah.
Do we even want to check raise that much here?
Yes.
hmm. I mean, multi-way people are gonna be tighter in general.
I feel like if we check raise here, we're genuinely gonna run into a lot of combo draws, two pairs, and maybe some sets.
I mean, I don't think jacks is like a high frequency hand you're gonna see here by villain, but like 8 and deuces are basically in all their ranges, right? And the button has range, the small blind has range, and the big blind has range.
Maybe some jacks for some of them. You're also 200 bigs deep with the button, right? We don't really want to be getting in aces here 200 bigs deep versus the button.
And yeah, that's kind of an awkward spot, right? If button would raise here, we would kind of be in the blender, right? With 200 big blinds deep
Well, we're
with aces.
calling, but we're not happy to stick the stack in here with aces 200 bigs deep.
Let's see what million does he. I think he folds if I remember correctly.
It's a weird spot four-way, but yeah, I can definitely get
Yeah.
behind your bet.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. Like the multi-way spots. Oh no, he calls. That's uh, yeah. Oh, he checks. I guess this is also a high frequency bet. Like
Yeah, I want to
definitely
barrel
the
this for
king.
2/3,
Yeah,
75%,
that
something like that.
yeah, this king is basically bingo for us, right? Should hit this range. Yeah, this king is just way better for us than the big blind, I would assume.
I don't think it's that much better for us than for the big blind.
How much king X are you betting?
On the flop, not that much.
In fact, I think a lot of your Jack X combos, like Ace Jack, are now not too happy.
Yeah, that's interesting. Hmm. Yeah, so what do you do here with aces then?
I
Like,
still want to barrel.
yeah, I also I also
He's
would
gonna
assume.
potentially have a bunch of king X that had a flush draw on the flop, a bunch of jack X. We unblock all of his calls. We're not super
Yeah.
excited because he can definitely have a
Pot?
bunch of two pairs here. I'd go like, well, I'd click my 70% button, but I know that's not a very standard size. I think anything in that realm is good though.
I
Pod's
guess
probably
I
fine
go.
too. Yeah.
Let's see. I actually don't remember what I do here. Oh yeah, 40 and a half. Yeah, so
Something in
around
the realm of
60%.
2/3,
Yeah.
70%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, he snap folds. So yeah, maybe I should size up a little bit on that turn. But yeah.
I
I
think you
think
should just go geometric.
Mm.
Just pot it.
Do we want to go
Mm.
geometric? There aren't that many rivers we're happy to be stacking off here.
I just think they're going to call too wide, like all their flush draws, all their straight draws, of which there are plenty.
To pot, potentially. They definitely shouldn't, but they might. You're right.
Yeah. But like if you go geometric, like on the flop we went around 65%, on the turn we went around 65%.
Yeah.
And then yeah. Yeah.
No, I meant
So
geometric on the turn, not on the flop.
uh
I think I like a size down, but or even
Yeah.
a check raise. But
I'm a fan of either check raise or I'd use half pot on the flop.
yeah,
But yeah, you were
no hand.
talking
Why is it
geometric
always?
tune river.
Yeah, I was talking on the turn. But
Yeah.
why is it always just you and me talking and everyone else watching? What's up with that?
They like listening to us because we have beautiful voices.
yeah.
Hold on, someone tried
Who's
to
it?
talk. Posers?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hey,
Oh, no, I was just saying everyone's a loser.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
exactly it. Come on, you gotta join into the discussion. Let's go.
Jam.
You with this king 10, this guy bets and I fold.
So you said jam, Tompos? Hang on. What
I
did
No, he did not. He did not. That was me.
All right, half
Yeah, so I
pot.
don't high and I just folded the king 10 suited. I mean, I guess you can make an argument for like check raising here.
It seems somewhat close. I'm definitely not folding king queen of clubs.
what was the action pre-flop on this one?
Button
Sorry.
opens, we
Just-
call big blind.
Oh, yeah. No, you can't just check fold that.
Versus
Can you?
half pot, it seems somewhat close. Versus a third, we definitely can't.
Yeah, I
Versus half
actually
pot, we
thought of
probably still can't.
yeah, I actually thought about check raising here, but then I rolled like a 95, so
I could get behind a check raise. I could get
mm,
behind a call. Hang on. I'm not so sure how much I can get behind check fold.
yeah, it seems like on the nittier side to just fold it.
I don't like the fold with king 10 backdoor flush draw
I think it's close versus half pot.
against the balanced range. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think we
Well,
do.
is it even close though? Like with the antes and stuff?
King queen is definitely not close. King 10 seems somewhat close versus half pot.
Yeah, I mean, it can't be terrible, but
Yeah, you see, I don't have a sim for this exact spot, right? I have a sim for button versus big blind 8-5-4 suited, or 8-5-4 two-tone, no ante.
the thing is,
Except,
you're supposed to have a donking range on that flop, right?
on 8-5-4 two-tone, no, we're only donking like 13%, so it's not super, super wide.
Interesting.
But yeah, my sims don't have
Yeah,
a half pot c-bet, versus a third, we're continuing this pure, sometimes as a raise, sometimes as a call, versus 70%, we're folding this pure. So versus half pot, we're going to be somewhere in the middle. It's going to be somewhat
yeah,
close.
yeah. I think like the donking range really starts getting interesting when like it's a 7 high board.
Yeah,
That's
usually
what
the
I
way it
remember.
kind of works
Yeah.
is it starts at 7 high connected boards for the most part,
Mm,
button versus big blind, and as positions retreat, we start donking on higher and higher boards because the range is tightened.
mm.
Yeah, but then you range check, they're gonna bet too wide, and then the exploit there is to just check raise like, I don't know, 40% of your range or something ridiculous because they're overextended.
You think people bet too wide here
Way
on
too
the
wide.
flop?
Yeah. If you range check on 854, I'm pretty sure they should be checking back like a, probably 70, 80, 90% of their range, which they don't. They bet too wide with overcards. Um, and then you can just check raise a bunch. If
I
no hand, if you ever have the time, take a board that ought to be donked, and then lock in like a range bet, and just see
No,
how
I
out of
know.
position.
On this board, if we're range checking 8-5-4, I'd guess out of position probably gets to see bet something around 35% of the time. But given the fact that he's going half pot, I think he might be going like 35% of the time. I don't think he'd be drastically over c-betting.
You give these people too much credit.
I definitely do. It's a huge leak in my game.
Like,
Sorry for distracting you guys.
uh, what amount of percentage is the solver bet on 854 two-tone?
If we have a
On
13% donking range, he should be betting around half the time with range.
On GTO Wizard, it's donking a lot more often. Just a heads up, like
How
30% of the
often?
time.
30%? 8-5-4
Yeah.
two-tone?
Mm-hmm.
Just have a 12.89% donk range. Is Wizard using the 20% size or what size?
It's using 1/3.
Okay, because I
Yeah.
know they have a 20 and a 50 split sometimes. Weird. Yeah.
probably like a spot where all the options are on the table,
I
like
er,
for yeah.
I think a really powerful exploit there is to just range check, watch them stab too wide, and then check raise just belligerently, and watch them fold like 80% of their range.
That's possible. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good exploit if you're like confident they're gonna fold a lot.
I mean, if they're c-betting way too often, they probably will fold a lot, or they're going to continue very, very wide. In which case, a turn blocking range after check raising flop is super important.
Yeah, definitely. So let's take a look at next hand. So I open aces.
Getting aces a
Uh,
lot. I like it.
yeah, so the big blind defense, 5-5-4. So my strategy is like here betting a third, like with a lot of my range, like on the paired boards.
Yeah. On 5-5-4, I wouldn't bet a ton, just because the 5 does interact pretty favorably with
Mm.
big blind's range. 5-5-4 is a pretty solid board for him.
How wide is Big Blind supposed to be calling in these ante games? Because I imagine if it's anything like MTT, they're supposed to be calling like
Very, very,
disgustingly
very
wide,
wide. Yeah.
like 80% of range or something ridiculous. So
I don't think versus a
uh,
2.5x under the gun it's going to be like 80%.
it'll be a lot though.
Versus a
It'll be
min open, it would probably be like 80%.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, hang
Anyway,
on.
they're gonna have a lot of 5x in range.
Yeah. I still think we can
Yeah,
see bet this decently often, maybe something in the realm of 60% of the time with range.
Yeah, they'll have enough trash that you can see bet quite a bit here.
Yeah.
yeah. So I see that like I think I go like third. Yeah, around the 30%, like a third.
Yeah, I just tend to simplify on all paired flops and single raise pots and only use a third.
Yeah, that's like the easy thing. And so no, he check raises. That's kind of disgusting.
I think we have a clear call.
Yeah, I like didn't. Yeah, I thought about re-raising, but doesn't really make much sense here.
I
Like,
think we can do
I
some
mean,
more re-raise. Do we even want to have that many re-raises here? Probably not many. Maybe a
yeah,
bit with some like kings, queens, that region.
Aces is maybe not quite the right hand class to do it with.
Definitely not, because aces doesn't need the protection that or the equity denial that kings and queens do.
Right.
So,
I rolled it too. So like the most aggressive action, but then I thought about it and like not really the right spot to do it. I think with aces here.
no, I think aces is just gonna be a
Um,
pure call.
we're also like a little bit over 100 big blinds deep, like around 130, I guess,
Okay.
125. Yeah. So now this turn, the deuce of spades.
I would play a two sizing split as big blind. I'd play a block and I'd play an
Yeah,
overbet. There, while he's playing the overbet, so I like it.
yeah,
This kind of sucks, doesn't it? I mean,
yeah.
we have,
This is an ugly spot. Yeah,
yeah, he's basically repping 5x here.
the- yeah,
His his hands like nines, eights. Those hands, if they barrel turn, they're gonna barrel for a block, not for an overbet. We have the nut worst combo of aces because if he has any ace five suited that he didn't three bet pre, which versus under the gun seems likely, we don't block any of it because we have ace of clubs, ace of hearts, which is suited to the five, right?
yeah.
So nut worst
Mm.
combo of aces. I
But
think I'm
like he's
still just
wrapping.
saying
Yeah,
are we still just too high up in range and can't fold yet? Probably.
Getting close to indifferent.
Yeah. I think I don't love it, but I'm still just calling crying and clicking the call button here.
I mean, some of his bluffs like ace three and 6-3 also got there, but that's 6-3 is really not too likely, but you never know, right?
6-3 in an anti-game, that's probably a defense,
Yeah,
6-3 suited.
Definitely.
Yeah.
yeah,
In non-anti cash that would be a fold, but
yeah. We can also hit like a five or an ace to like, and that's just some factor in like
I
if you
mean, what
have.
are his bluffs going to be
Mm.
here? A lot of his bluffs here should be stuff like Jack 10 of spades that check raised flop at some frequency, right?
Yeah,
Queen 10 of spades,
6, 7, 7,
6
8, 8,
7,
6.
7
yeah,
8.
like
Although I think
Shitloads of
7
gut
6 is
shots.
probably going to mix in a decent amount of checking on the turn,
maybe
specifically.
even like ace four or something. Just like ace four raise the flop, maybe like once in a while.
Yeah, but I don't think ace 4 is
Um,
going to overbet turn. I think that's just,
yeah, that would be kind of insane.
yeah, that's a bit ambitious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm just crying and clicking call for one more street.
Yeah, like I thought about it for a while here, and
It's an anti-game. We're not folding king queen off. No, no, don't
uh,
do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
uh,
No, knit.
Bruh.
yeah,
See you with a
and
flop top pair. Come on, get in there. Results orientated thinking. You can't fold when you would a flop top pair.
2 hands at a time. That's too much. That's too much for me.
Alright.
Oh, and literally all of his bluffs get there.
Yeah,
Waiting for the
that's
jam,
yeah. He jams here, so
of course.
yeah,
I'm folding this
it's
river.
Can you find a worse river card for you?
Yeah, I
Six of
think a
spades,
3
maybe?
would be worse. No, that gives us a straight.
No, because you have
Actually,
too many aces, so they slow down with some stuff. But
yeah.
six is probably the worst card in the deck for you.
Yeah, because the 3 gives us the wheel, so.
I think this is just a snap fold.
6 of spades, probably worse for us.
Well, you're still drawing with some spades yourself. For this hand, yeah, six of spades is bad, but
Not all
yeah.
that
So
many, though. We're gonna have some, like, ace king of spades, ace queen of spades, ace jack of spades. Yeah.
yeah. So with the queens here in the big blind, I go a little bit bigger because we like 200 big blinds deep.
Sure.
So
I've seen some sims where you can 3x 20 big blinds, 200 big blinds deep.
20 big blinds.
20 bigs, not even kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. With
Oh.
the idea to set up like a 5-bet jam.
This is king king jack. We're just range betting.
Yeah.
This wait, was this wait, this is big blind, not small blind. Hang on. I
Yeah,
think we're still
I'm in the
just
big
range
blind.
betting.
You have to range bet that.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's king king jack rainbow. That's just so good for us.
Yeah, I I probably would bet this at a higher frequency when we were 100 big blinds deep. Like 200 big blinds deep, you can get in some really nasty spots here when you start betting this flop.
I think we
That's
still just
something.
have such a huge range advantage. We can range bet even 200 bigs deep.
Agreed.
Yeah, no, that I think about it. I mean,
Yeah.
this flop like this double kings and a jack.
Yeah. It's kind of close versus the big blind because since we're 3 betting polar, it's not like we hit it as much as we would out of the small blind.
Yeah, and he
Uh,
snaps like half pot here. Yeah, I mean, this is never a fold, so a raise is also kind of weird. So I guess we're kind of locked to to calling here.
I like a call,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. I think I like his half pot size too. 9-4 deuce. Can we range bet this? 9-4 deuce 2-bet pot in an ante game?
Mm.
No.
Potentially?
No, you can't range bet that.
I think 9-4 deuce, if we were under the gun versus big blind in an ante game, we definitely could range bet.
I don't know, man. They're gonna have way more of those low cards than you, and you're gonna have a lot of overcard trash.
Yeah, but he's gonna have so much garbage because it's an ante game and he's gonna be super wide.
True.
I don't know, it seems close.
Oh, this is anti.
Yeah, it's ante. That's why everything is whack and we don't know what we're doing.
Oh,
Yeah.
jam.
Yeah. So everything's wider.
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah,
I think the range bet is okay. I think that logic is sound.
Yeah, I don't know. I think in an ante game it might be fine. So we face a 3 big blind bet. What do we think about raising this?
I'm okay
Mm.
with it because we have a gut shot to the nuts.
We have
We
a
could
gut
just-
shot. We're definitely hitting a decent amount of queen X on the turn that could potentially raise. Versus this
yeah.
size.
I also thought about raising here, so I rolled here, and I think I did raise here. In fact,
I might
yeah,
pure raise with this spade. Like king jack with this spade. Maybe mix it
yeah.
without.
So I rolled. Yeah, I go like 3x size.
On the queen's board, did the turn check through?
Yeah, the turn check
Yeah,
through.
turn check.
I'm
Yeah.
assuming you're gonna value bet then,
I
like
think we can go for value here. Is it a block or is it 2/3?
block.
Block,
Block
you
is
think?
Yeah.
1/3, right? 1/3.
Block is anything
Yeah,
small out of position. So like anything between
Okay,
33% and 0%
interesting.
out of position. Yeah.
Yeah,
bet the size you think a jack will call. Bet that much.
I
yeah,
think
I'm
we can
surprised that
potentially go 2/3 here.
yeah, I'm surprised I checked here with the queens.
Yeah. I think
Mm.
if he went small on the flop, we can definitely go like 2/3 here. Can we find a
Yeah,
value
so
raise? This would be so sick if we can find a value raise.
yeah, that's what I am. I no, I'm in it, I guess. Yeah, he had 8 and suited.
Well, we got the
So I mean,
max.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
max
Nice, nice.
value.
yeah, played him right.
Yeah. I think if
Like
you
a
do have
fiddle.
a read that he's stabbing way too wide on the flop for half pot, which he
I
likely
mean,
is if he's stabbing 10-8 suited.
yeah, that's a creative bluff. You gotta give him that. So
The ginge.
Yeah, the ginge bet.
Max change.
Oh my god, I hate it so much. Okay, but yeah, so we win that king jack, we get to the river here.
yeah, so I raised the turn,
We
and now
raise
we get here on
turn.
the river.
Do we
Yeah,
bluff this combo?
I mean, I roll pretty low. I guess I think I went for it here. I went around pot. Maybe not the best sizing.
I think I'd go more like 2/3 because I want a size that I can still value bet, aces, kings, ace queen,
What are you
king queen.
targeting?
If I'm going that size, weaker queen X, potentially some 9X like ace 9
And you think the weaker queen X are gonna fold?
versus pot.
They might. Yeah, they might.
No, but
Definitely.
yeah, versus pot, weaker queen X is getting closer, and he's not going to defend as often, so a lot more of his defending range is going to be, two pair, that type of hand. This is ante. He's going to have 9-4 suited for sure, 4 deuce suited for sure, potentially 9 deuce suited. He's going to have all of the suited queen X, probably
Mm-hmm.
queen 9 off. I think value betting one pair for pot just gets a little bit thin. You
Yeah,
know?
that's an interesting take.
It does feel like most of your value that would want to take this line is feeling very thin. Like your line looks like it would result in a bluffing imbalance, if I'm being honest. Now that I'm thinking about what your value hands would want to do here.
Yeah, we're going to have some aces, we're going to have some queens, we're going to have some ace queen. Maybe a bit of king queen, for the most part. Some queen 9. We don't have all that much. I mean, this was rolled on the turn, which I think is good, because I don't think we can pure raise this at all.
Yeah, and yeah, the sizing might be too powerful. I
Yeah.
mean, too high up. This hand of this sizing might be not really the best for this kind of hand.
I do
Because
agree with
even like a
Tombosh that we need to be careful not to overbluff this spot. This is a
uh,
spot where we can have tons of bluffs. I think if I had king jack with a spade, I'm pure giving up.
yeah,
I think the fact that it's king jack no spade, we do still bluff this, but I want to go 2/3 or 75% or something like that.
yeah, like a 2/3 might be better here because like if you have something like Queen Jack or Queen King or something
I don't
like
think
King
queen
Queen.
jack can
Uh,
go for value here, but king
uh,
queen, potentially ace
uh,
queen, over pairs. I want to go something that our one pair hands can value bet for.
Yeah, and queen jack might not be check raising turn.
I think it could potentially at a frequency, but if
yeah,
it
it
does, it's
might.
definitely
Uh,
not value betting river.
Not for this size, no. No,
Well, even for
definitely not.
2/3, it's
no.
not going to value bet river.
Yes, and so like even if you have just ace queen here, even pot feels a little bit overextended.
Yeah, two
So
thirds feels about right.
yeah,
Yeah, let's see if you got one through.
We
Hey.
do.
Nice.
Nice, nice.
What are we going
Yeah,
for here? Ace, queen, 4 blind versus blind. I'd play
yeah,
over
it's
better check. Tombos, I know you do the same.
Yes. Yes. Come to the dark side.
But you know I stand by the fact that blocking range here is going to be fine. Maybe a bit less
yeah,
blind versus blind, but still.
yeah. I find these spots like the sizings and these kind of spots. I I find very interesting. Like
Are
it's
we
like
going to
such
find
a
the
wide.
overbet? I mean, this probably is a relatively low frequency overbet. Maybe 40% of the time with this hand, I'd guess. Slightly less than
Yeah,
range.
in blind versus blind spots, there's just so much you can do wrong that. Mm,
You need to be really cautious. I spent the
Yeah,
longest time massively over bluffing every blind versus blind spot because I had such wide
mm.
ranges, and I was like, yeah, let's go for it, because why not?
That's also like I just bet like 1/3 with range. I
Probably
sometimes do
fine.
that, and then yeah, it's. I mean, it can be too bad, right? Just simplify.
Yeah. It's definitely not
Definitely on.
optimal, but it's not, bad.
Is it exploitable? Yeah. Are they going to exploit you?
No.
No.
Yeah, it's just so
Yeah.
effective, right? Like you bet a third, they fold, you're out of position. It's like the easy way out, right? It's fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, it works, but I don't think it's like a super good exploit versus population because there's still going to be like the fun part about playing over better check on those boards is that on the flop they're screwed. And then even if you check and the turn comes some random card, right? You still have a huge range advantage and they're still screwed. So your delay c betting range still really performs well. Right? Like
Well
it's not
said.
like you just
Well
lose
said.
your advantage on the flop if it checks through. So,
Yeah.
wait, did we just fold facing 2 open limps? What did we have? This better be some total garbage. 10-5 off. Can we over limp this in
Shit.
an anti-game? Probably not. We're out of position.
No.
I mean,
I really
No, you
wish we
can't.
could though.
if you
Didn't you?
defend,
Yeah, no.
yeah, if you defend 10-5 off, I guess you defended all right.
Yeah, we're out of
Almost.
position
Yeah.
too. Like we're absolutely out of position post flop, right?
Your hand is terribly multi-way.
If it was
Like,
10-5
it's really-
suited, I'm getting in there.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah. Um, even if they're like $2, I might flick it in.
Yeah. Jack 10 off. Okay, good.
So flat. I mean, these spots are interesting, right? Like monotone board, you have like a middle card to the flush.
We can't see bet this board super often. The deuce 3 actually
Uh,
interacts decently well with the big blind here.
yeah, if I
And
remember
it's
correctly,
monotone.
like on monotone boards, you always bet like at max 1/3.
Very small and
Yeah,
a lot of checking. A lot of
Yeah.
checking.
a lot of checking, and when you bet like 30% at most. That's what I remember.
Yeah, because the way it works
From
is the monotone boards kind of just add, in Kanu's words, a chunk of hands at the top of both ranges which beat everything else. So top end range advantage and nut advantage kind of just disappears because, well, both people have a ton of flushes in their range, so big sizes make less sense.
Yep.
yeah, so I, I think I check here. I'm not sure though.
Could check, could bet
That's
small.
yeah,
Either's fine.
yeah. I rolled low, so I bet small. So around the third.
Okay.
Yeah, so he calls, and it's a deuce of spades.
Do we
Mm.
barrel this hand?
Yeah, this is kind of an awkward spot, right? When you get called and it pairs.
You can barrel.
Is this a mix? This is probably a mixed barrel, mixed check.
Everything's a mix on a monotone board, but yeah.
Yeah,
you
that's
can definitely-
true. That's why I hate them so much. You look at them, there's nothing that bets or takes any action pure ever.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous.
I roll like 90, so I check like in it.
This is so confusing to me. I just see a 90 and I'm like, oh, aggressive action, because that's how I think.
Yeah, no, we face. I guess like a fold or ace. I mean, a call just seems horrible here.
Versus half pot, I think we can just. Can we fold?
You can raise.
Yeah, I guess it's a razor
Yeah.
fold. A call kind of seems
I think
strange
if we
there.
have a jack of clubs, we're probably never folding.
Well, you're deep too, right? So you have to kind of you have to be a little more careful.
Yeah. Anything that has a flush draw and an ace high obviously never folds. Jack high with a flush draw. Seems close. Those spots are tough.
So not too many interesting spots for a while, I guess. It's four suited.
It's a good hand.
Yeah. Oh, we
So we
get
get a
12.
small blind flat. That's a fun one.
Mm. Yeah. So we got the backdoor flush draw and backdoor straight draw.
C betting this relatively often, and versus small blind, I think I'd use half pot.
Yeah, this is like a spot that that doesn't occur all that often, right? The small blind flat. Maybe it's not even a mistake by him with the ante. Maybe even the solver has some flats here.
Oh no, I'm
I
sure
would
it will. I'm
assume.
sure it's fine.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
versus
Yeah.
yeah,
big
small blinds.
blind, I'd want to use more small sizes, like a third here. But versus the small blind, the range is going to be a bit more condensed, so I feel like half pot just makes more sense.
I like that logic.
Yeah. From my brief looking at in position versus small blind sims, it seems to like a lot of half pot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sizes up a bit to target those pocket pairs, so
Yeah, that's exactly it.
I like the larger bet there.
Yeah, seems good.
Maybe open with sixes. Get a flat from the button. I mean, when you play with an ante, you kind of have to be prepared to fight almost every hand, right?
Yeah.
Like there's almost no hand where you like open and everyone folds.
I think ace 9-4 is a really high
Mm.
frequency checkboard for us, if not a range check.
Yeah, that's what I do. I check here.
Maybe that's not the case with antes. I have no clue. But
Yeah, so it goes check check, and then I mean,
I just want to check
like
turn
what?
again.
Yeah, so it's like hoping it goes to the river with check 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 check.
Yeah, I don't think I'm quite
Mm.
turning sixes into a bluff here.
Yeah,
Seems close though. With the
even like
diamond, it seems close.
yeah, and now he bets spot here. I mean,
Fold.
yeah, there's
Big ol' station, I like the tag.
that's when I bluffed and he called it something stupid. The rage note.
Yeah, I work on those. Well, I'm working on it, trying to do that less. Six, seven suited, facing an open limp, 200 bigs deep.
Almost 240, 240 to Maxi.
Do we ISO 6-7 suited? I want to say yes, but I don't know. Tombos, have you done any research into versus limping ranges, what ISO ranges look like?
250 bigs deep. The
Yeah.
answer will be no. The answer is a hard no. And I
Damn
don't
it.
know. No one knows.
Okay.
Yeah, so check on the flop. I mean, this is kind of an interesting turn. Like, do we take jab here?
You can.
Yeah, I think I even bet here if I remember correctly.
If we bet, what size do we want to bet? I think big. At least 2/3. Maybe even an overbet is good. I think an overbet is good. I don't like
Yeah,
this size.
this is kind of pathetic size, right? Like, like every ace is gonna call.
Yeah, you don't put
Maybe,
any of his
yeah,
range in a tough spot. All of his
yeah.
ace-x is calling, any pair is calling, a bunch of king-high is calling.
So, what size do you want to use on the river to target his ace X and king X? Just high card stuff.
Uh, an ace is probably not gonna fold anything less than a pot size bet, right?
So, what about bigger than a pot size bet?
Yeah. Mm. Mm. Like 2x pot, would he, like,
I
yeah,
don't think I want to go
he's,
2x pot
mm,
here, because when we go
uh,
with third on the turn, I mean, I don't like the third sizing on the turn. I think I'd rather at least go like 2/3, because that's more the realm of what our under pairs, like, sixes, sevens, want to go, which is pretty substantial part of our betting range. But
Okay, so I just want to add that since you didn't raise, the 2 and the 2 hit your checking range really well.
yeah, no, we
Um,
definitely want to have an overbetting range
Same
on the
with the 8
turn.
and the 8. So, yeah, I'm going to say big bet here. Final answer.
It kind
yeah.
of depends. Like, I like the big bet logic, but I would have preferred to go big on the turn and then big on the river. Our 8x and our deuce x isn't going for a block on the turn, it's going to go for like 2x pot. So we don't really have much 8x and deuce x left in our range when we get to this river.
I think either way, this hand is the nut low. So, you just have to bluff it.
I mean, basically everything is not low if you don't have an ace, right? I mean, like, there's not really any difference between like 6-7 or Jack 10 here. I guess maybe that's not.
I think there
Eh.
is high card equity. Like King X will have showdown value. Queen X will even have showdown value.
King x and queen
Uh,
x do.
this hand has no showdown value, and it does. I mean, okay, who knows what it blocks? The ranges are too wide to
Yeah,
consider
he
that. So.
open limped. God knows what this blocks almost.
You block 7-2 offsuit.
Yeah, I think I tried here, but
Yeah,
with a
yeah.
with a
We
with,
blocked a 7 deuce. We don't even
72
block
off.
7 deuce suited. I mean, come on. How can we bluff this then? No.
no, I check like an absolute nut.
No, I want to
If he
bluff
had
it.
the ace 5, yeah, ace 5 would never
He
have
didn't
folded
value
here.
bet that on the river? Bro, you got a 5. It's a slam dunk river value bet.
Like a 95% equity hand right there.
Yeah.
It's like that's basically, if I
Jesus
check back the
Christ.
river, that's like, I mean, what do I? That's the best hand you can ever have there, ace 5 offsuit.
Yeah. I mean, any 5 there is the effective nuts. Any pair is the effective nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so 10-8 suited, we open. Ooh, that's a juicy flop.
Kind of brings up and begs an interesting question there if he's
Mm.
not value betting ace 5, because if he doesn't value bet ace 5, he's still gonna have a decent amount of bluffs there with a few flush draws, maybe a few king highs or queen highs, probably not king highs, queen highs if they decide to bluff river. He might be massively over bluffing that spot if he's under value betting it that badly by not betting ace 5 off. So it could be a good river to bluff catch if we check any bets,
Yeah,
potentially.
You're assuming he's bluffing, or you're assuming he bluffs at some frequency. But people who don't value bet thin enough often don't bluff enough in general.
It's possible
yeah.
too.
Just pure value. Good old 2009 linear ranges.
Yeah, it's like all of those players when they choose a bluff, they go all out.
So
They
no
go
set, no
like
bet type
yeah.
style.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when they choose a bluff, they go like all out. They come guns out blazing and hope hope that you fold.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so 10-8. Jack 9-7. I don't think we play a big bet range on Jack 9-7 just because it's connected. If this was like Jack 9-5, we're definitely playing a big bet range.
That's interesting. I always heard like the more dynamic the board, the bigger the bet size. But that might be just something stupid from the old days.
Well, we do want to have a bigger bet size on kind of the more dynamic boards where but Big Blind has a lot more higher equity hands that we're trying to put in a tough spot.
Mm,
So like Jack 9-5 would be kind of a dynamic board. The issue with Jack 9-7 is now it's dynamic, but he has a bunch of 10-8, he has a bunch of straights, he has a bunch of hands like this, and the runout is going to change drastically on future streets, right? So it's not like we can barrel off with a lot of our value hands
You can
on
get mixed in
many
with
runouts.
some big bets for sure,
On
though, right?
Jack
Like there's a
9-7,
not like over bets, but like 2/3 for sure. You can get in there with some 2/3 sizings for
potentially.
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, look, that heuristic you mentioned is somewhat true as long as they don't have so much value that they can repolarize over your value region.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I mean, are they gonna have nines? No, probably not. Jacks? No. Uh, they'll have some jack nine. They'll have some ten
They'll have some
eights
nines
suited
versus the cutoff.
in anti games.
Potentially? I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I think you can mix in some big bets here, or
Yeah,
like half pot maybe.
potentially.
Third bet feels ineffective because you'll just get
yeah,
called.
I think
Oh, wow, this is weird. I have a sim for Jack 9-7 button versus Big Blind, and it does want to use a bunch of overbets. I don't have
yeah,
cutoff versus Big Blind, but I have button
yeah,
versus Big Blind, and it
yeah.
wants to overbet a
But
whole bunch.
we're basically the button because the button is setting out. So actually, we're basically the button.
Oh, you are the button too, aren't you?
Yeah,
Yeah. Fair
Oh,
enough.
okay.
yeah.
I mean, I don't have it for anti-sims, but yeah, it wants to play a bunch of overbets. Interesting.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
also only 50 big blinds deep. This is not even like 100 big
Oh,
blinds
we're
deep.
50 bigs deep. Well, that changes
Yeah.
things. Now I definitely want to use a small bet more. I think. Do I?
But you
You,
don't want to overbet 50 big steep that much.
yeah.
So.
Okay, what do you
Oh,
do? Let's just watch.
Yeah, I, I think I use a bigger sizing here, around $4, I think.
Okay. At this point, I'm just confusing myself.
Yeah, around, almost around pot actually.
I like it.
All right.
Good size.
I actually rolled here
Did we
88,
just
so
click open fold queen deuce suited on the button on the table on the left?
ooh,
This
this
is
is
an
making me.
anti-game. Get in there. Stop being a nit.
For real though,
Ooh,
open like way wider on the button.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
that's
queen
painful
deuce
to
suited
watch.
on the button's a pure open in a non-anti game. In an anti
More
Is
game,
it
that's like
though?
sacrilegious.
more than half your range, at least more than half your range.
For sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this. Ooh, that's actually quite bad by me.
Yeah, I think in a
Mm.
non-anti game,
Yeah,
any suited queen opens pure. I think Jack 3 suited is a
yeah,
mix,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
Jack 2 suited pure
Jack,
folds.
yeah, Jack 4 suited is like always an open, and
Yeah.
every queen, king, and suited ace. So yeah,
In
that's
non-anti.
like.
Also,
Uh,
people aren't going to check raise you enough at these stakes, so you can, you know, that allows you to open even wider.
You're saying you're going to over-realize post because they're not going to play aggressively enough?
Precisely.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, there are some pretty aggressive players in these stakes. I mean, it's not like 5-0 or something like like that.
But isn't the big blind in that last hand like a station, like a passive player? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, it is. So yeah, I should have flatted there.
I
I should
mean,
have
not all
opened there.
stations are passive, Tombos. I pride myself
Mm.
on being a lunatic, aggressive spew monkey station.
That's a new term for me. I haven't heard that sentence before.
You don't have a label for that? You don't have a label for aggressive lunatic spew monkey station? You need one.
I'm gonna call it no hand from now on.
Yeah, I also tried some 200 NL today and yesterday. I mean, they basically play the same. Like a lot of these racks here, like the Skull N13X guy also plays 200 NL.
Okay.
And like, so when you play 100 NL, there's like a bunch of the same guys that play 200 NL. So,
Yeah.
but that's pretty big for me, 200 NL. I mean, that's like painful when you lose a pot, right?
Yeah, if it's
Like
painful
100
when you
bucks,
lose a pot, it's
yeah,
too high stakes.
$100 is like meh. But like $200 is like, maybe that's too high for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what was this? This
So
is blind versus blind 966. We have ace queen of clubs.
yeah. So
Can c-bet, can check. Probably c-betting pretty often. I mean, he's gonna have to call us with a ton of worse hands here. This is just straight up for value as a c-bet on the flop.
yeah, yeah, maybe. I don't think it's 100% a bet here.
I
I
don't think it's a
definitely see
pure
some.
bet, but I think it's gonna be
Yeah,
pretty high frequency with ace queen of clubs.
yeah. I think I bet here like, ooh, that's a kind of
I don't know
strange
why we're
size.
going big here.
Yeah, I also don't know that.
Yeah.
That's kind of strange that I went like
Yeah.
70% pot here.
I'd want to go
That's strange.
a third,
Yeah,
something in that realm.
this is just strange.
Yeah, I really
Yeah,
don't like this size, particularly with this hand, actually. I think this hand really doesn't perform well
yeah,
for
I
this
think it's quite.
size.
Now that I see it, it's kind of bad, right?
Yeah, I don't like
Yeah,
this.
Hard to find many worse hands that call or better hands that fold, to be honest, against that size.
Yeah.
yes, that's just interesting. I don't know why I did that.
On the
Yeah, and then there's a
turn, probably just a slam dunk check here, I
yeah.
think.
I think it's quite bad to continue here. Like it's
He potentially floats us with some worse ace highs still, maybe some ace
mm,
10.
yeah. So we do check,
Yeah.
and he checks back.
I just want to check this
And
down now and pray to God.
yeah, I think I checked here. Like
Wait, what happened with the ace 4 off here? We open button, big blind calls, check, check,
yeah,
flop.
and
Okay, fair enough.
yeah. I checked back the flop, and he also checked the turn,
Turn we could
and
bet,
no,
we could check.
yeah, and I go for a bet here. Like
Okay. I would have used half pot, but 2/3 is fine too. Okay, so he
yeah,
goes
on
for
the
the bet
river.
on the river. This is a fun spot.
Mhm.
Okay. Half pot.
That you have to call this, right?
I think I want to call. I'm just trying to think it through, but I think I do want to call this.
Yeah, I think also it's because he checked back the turn, so that this nine actually doesn't really change.
It does change a
I
few
mean,
things. It counterfeits a lot
yeah,
of his lower pairs.
yeah, yeah. It definitely shouldn't improve him this nine on the river.
Not
It
that
should be a
often,
bad
no.
card. Yeah, it should be a bad card for the big blind.
And I'd expect a lot
Mm,
of his 9x to go bigger unless he's just one of these people that clicks half pot no matter what hand they have.
yeah. Also
Feels
the
like
side.
he has
Yeah,
exactly an 8 here somehow, like, and nothing else, or just like another ace.
Pocket threes, potentially.
yeah, the side also doesn't have any customizable bet buttons. So you literally only have min bet, half pot, pot,
Oh
or a
god, I
win.
hate those
So
sites.
yeah,
Okay, half pot. How much 8x does he have here? We big bet flop, so he's gonna have what? He's gonna have some 8-7, some 10-8, but that's probably still gonna check raise flop at a decent frequency, even versus big. I think I just want to call this, yeah.
yeah. I also end up calling. Um,
We're
yeah,
not check
I
raise
think
bluffing this, right? No, no, we're not.
No,
Okay.
but
yeah,
I just wanted to consider it. It's my favorite line.
It is.
Yeah, just check raise jam every river.
You can't
Hey, a
no
quick
hand them.
question. Does anyone know how to add going all in as a betting option for GTO plus
G1.
G1?
Yep.
Why on earth is it G1? Pio just has an A, that's so much simpler.
There's other ways to do it, but that's the easiest way.
Oh,
Yeah,
so he just
he
has an
had
8, you
like
were right.
So I
Yeah.
type in G1 into first bet. G1.
Yeah, that'll be an all-in.
Okay.
What's
Okay.
the
Thank you,
logic
Combo.
behind it being G1? Like, why that?
Geomet. Oh yeah, so they have geometric sizes.
Oh,
So G1
yeah, it's geometric for
geometric
one
over one
street,
street.
straight up just jam. Okay.
Yeah, and then G3 is over 3 streets, and
Yeah, yeah,
G2 is over
yeah.
2 streets.
Yeah.
Yada yada.
I mean, Pio has that too, but for Pio it's exponential, so it's an E. They have E1, E2, E3, and then just E.
Oh damn! I don't think I can even solve all ins on my computer.
Yikes.
I need to get more RAM.
so,
Did we just fold
Uh,
10-5 suited in the small blind?
see.
Stop being a
Yeah.
nit. Open it. Limp
Ooh,
it.
that's
Do something.
uh,
Actually, do you think there are? I suspect there's like a reasonable amount of small blind limping
In an
going on.
yeah,
anti-game? For
probably.
sure.
Yeah, be
And
interesting
especially
to
versus
solve
the
this.
short stack, right? He was half stacked, so definitely even more limping.
Yeah, that was bad falling at 10-5 suited. Was-
Yeah, Tombos, if you do ever solve this, let me know. I'm interested.
Yeah, I might. Although, how do you even get onto Coinpoker? Isn't it like invite only?
No, no, you can just download the client and play on it.
Oh, cool.
Is the rake structure good?
I heard it's better than most.
Huh.
Yeah, it's like 4% flat, and basically it's on every stake it's like 4%, and with some kind of cap. Like,
It's not bad.
I mean that's like average. Yeah.
I'll have to
I
figure
mean
out
the
how
rate,
tether
yeah,
works though if I want to take a shot at it.
yeah. There's also no rake. Oh, but there is rake back, but that's kind of weird. Like you have to buy their coin, and then you get like rake back and their coin. But
Oh, that's
the
kind of
coin of the
stupid.
site, coin poker, is like yeah, it's basically worthless. So and also no volume. So basically there's no rake back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
I mean, there were some pretty big games, like Omaha for Rolls played against Tony G, and like Matt Kirk played 5K 10K the other day.
Hmm.
Damn. Do they have short deck on this site?
No,
Just PLO?
I don't. Yeah, just
Just
yeah,
the mini
just
games, probably.
yeah, just hold them Omaha and 5 card Omaha
Okay,
and
okay.
some tournaments, but yeah, there's like a maximum of like 50 players a tournament, so not really worth playing any tournaments.
I mean, if they overlay, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, but the guarantees are like 10x the buy-in, so.
Oh, yeah. I guess it makes sense for well, you say they're an older site, but they just became popular recently, right? So they can't offer huge guarantees.
Yeah,
They can't take that hit.
no.
So you deposit in crypto, I'm assuming? On your
Yeah,
site?
it's like Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Tether. You can deposit.
Interesting.
Yeah. Mm.
Tens in a cold 4-bet spot versus the
Yeah,
button and small blind. We have to
yeah,
cold 4-bet this.
yeah. I actually looked up the spot and tens as a forward bet here. Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
think
was
it's
not
just a
sure about.
cold
Yeah,
4-bet stack off.
yeah,
In earlier positions, this becomes more of a mix. But versus button and small blind, we just have to 4-bet. I think nines is even 4-betting in these positions as well. Plus, it's an anti-game, right? They're going to be wider, so even more incentive.
yeah. Yeah, tens. I even think that tens is like a pure four bet.
In
Here.
these positions, yeah, and versus a small
Yeah.
blind jam, I think we just have to call this off and pray to God.
Yeah. What about the sizing? Do you like the sizing here?
25, yeah, I like it.
Mm. Yeah.
Should be something small-ish. So,
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
I
This.
think we're just calling it off.
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that we're slightly deeper, like we're 114 bigs deep here,
Yeah.
but I think we still just need to call this off.
Yeah. I think I knitted it up here. That's absolutely disgusting.
I don't think I like the fold. I don't think it's disastrous, but I don't think I like
Mm.
it. What is
With the
Wizard want to
tens?
do here?
Mm.
Yeah.
That's.
Oh, it's blind versus blind.
Yeah, we just gotta call this. We're
Yeah.
calling
Yeah.
this 100 bigs deep. We're calling it for 2.8 bigs of EV. But yeah, we just gotta call it. It becomes closer,
Oh.
a lot closer, if button jams. Because if button jams, that range is gonna be a lot stronger than if small blind
Yeah.
jams.
Oh, it's quite a big mistake then if you fold for the 2.8 big blinds of EV. That's
Yeah,
quite a
and
big
that's a
mistake.
non-anti.
Yeah.
In anti games, it's gonna be even
Yeah.
wider. But yeah, we just need to stack off there.
Yeah. It's also not 100% accurate because we were like 110 big blinds deep. Let me
Yeah,
check how deep we
114,
were.
but still. You know, it also uses a slightly smaller size.
Yeah.
Wizard wants to go to 23 bigs instead of 25,
Yeah,
but
it
still.
was 140 big blinds, so yeah.
Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
just
it's still
stacking
gonna
off
be
there.
plus EV even with the 140 big blinds, but
For sure.
it's gonna be like 2 point something, 2.1 or something.
You don't love it, but you're stacking
Mm.
off, yeah.
Yeah. And when you see the overpair, you're kind of like, fuck, I'm an idiot. But it's like,
No, you're kind of like, fuck, I hate my
uh,
life. Not I'm an idiot, but you're just calling and you're stacking off. You know, it's whatever. 7-4 suited on the button. This is an anti-game. No, don't fold. No.
I think that.
It's a tad
I
wide in
don't-
a non-anti
uh,
game, but in an anti
yeah.
game, I'm definitely opening that. Come on.
I definitely should look at my opening ranges.
I mean, I think it's an open. I'm kind of guessing.
Uh,
I know 7-5 suited and 6-4 suited open button in a non-anti game.
uh, 7-4 is like the cutoff point in a
7-4
non-anti game.
doesn't in a non-anti game. In an anti game, I don't know, but I feel like it should.
Those low suited semi-connected hands do better if they call more and don't raise as much. But if you expect to get 3-bet a lot, then they underperform.
All right, that makes sense.
Best if they get to C flops.
Yeah.
And then like conversely, like if you got hand like I don't know, King 6 off, that hand's great if they, because it blocks 3-bets, but it has terrible post flop playability.
Yeah,
So I
that's
always try and
exactly it.
you want to try and think like, are they calling a lot? Are they 3-betting? What's the tendency with
It's
this
also
guy?
the reason why a lot of those high offsuit hands perform better in high rake environments, where it's a lot more aggression pre-flop and you just want to block 3-bets.
Precisely, yeah.
I guess I'm gonna call it a day. It's quite late. It's quite late here, so thanks for joining.
Alright. Yeah, it was good.
Uh,
A
Thanks for
lot of
presenting.
interesting
Man.
spots. Yeah.
yeah, no
Yeah.
problem, no problem.
So what did we learn? We learned you're a nit, but besides that you play
Absolutely
well.
disgusting net. Yeah. I mean, definitely some spots like, yeah.
Yeah, just
I guess
stop
it's
being
also
such
good
a
for
nit.
me. Yeah. I de- yeah.
Jesus
I
Christ.
just yeah. Yeah, that's definitely something. Even if you like, if you play like yourself and not really aware of these things, I mean, if nobody tells you like to open wider, you're not gonna do it, right?
Yeah. I
So
mean, I'm kind of teasing you a
yeah,
little bit because I'm
yeah,
definitely a nit too. But
yeah.
it's
I mean,
just
that's
fun.
probably what separates like the medium players from like the really good ones, right? Like knowing the exact ranges, what to open, not being scared like to go for it in spots.
I
So
kind of agree, I kind of
yeah,
disagree. I think what really
yeah,
separates the best players is just the ability to adapt your ranges on the fly. That's what I really admire. Like being
Hmm.
able to know the theory, but then see a spot, understand how it's different from the theory, and adapt your strategy on the fly.
Yeah, well said. I think the first step is knowing the theory, and the second step is knowing how to adapt the theory.
Yeah, for sure. I just respect people who can adapt the theory more than people who just know the theory.
Yep.
But yeah, it's definitely in that order.
Yeah. Yeah. So good night and maybe till the next time.
Yeah, yeah, looking forward to it.
Thanks for presenting.
No problem. See you.
Yeah, see you.
Yeah.
Cheers.
See ya.
See ya. Waffle, what's happening?
Oh my god, my computer's going crazy.
I didn't catch that.
Hold on, can someone look at my GTO Plus real quick? I can't seem to make all-in a betting option.
Oh yeah, sure. Just share the screen.
Okay, give me 1 second. Share, where's share screen? Share your screen. Let me just turn off Pornhub. Okay, there we go.
I should have stopped the recording before you said that, but yeah.